So basically what we're wanting to do is have enough padding under the front of the foot that the bones aren't being pushed into either the floor or the ground. And then you just usually want one layer over the top for hygiene, okay? So that you're not making direct foot-to-foot contact with people. And then you're going to use different aspects of your foot. So we can use our heel, and that's going to be our heavier way of doing it. How's the pressure for you?
Yeah, it's good.
We can change our angles. Get it in there. We can use the ball of our foot. We can use our toes. Our toes are going to be precise like our fingers are. Yeah. You can actually feel all the different bands. Two pokies in the grass, eh?
Yeah.
So really just getting right in there. You can move it around, and then you can combine the edge, or I call it the blade of the foot, the outer edge there. And then, like I said, your heavier work is with your heel. Okay. And we can sometimes, if the person's got reasonably flexible ankles, we can actually turn the ankle and give it a nice stretch as well. How's that feel?
That's good.
Yeah. And you could even get in with your toes into the ankle area there, and onto that big toe belly band, big toe sacral band area. So it's a good one if ever your hands are really sore, or you're working on people that require very heavy pressure, you know, really solid feet. There's a video of me working on this guy, Tim. He was from New Zealand, but he was in Australia, an ex-army sergeant in his 60s. And his feet were like concrete. And they would kill your hands, even with tools, to loosen them. And it wasn't till I got in there, and I didn't video the first one, I videoed the second one, but I'm digging in with my heel with all my body weight.
Wow.
And he's going, oh, that feels, you know, good. And it was the only way we could break up his feet.
Wow.
So, and you can imagine that level of pressure where I was actually not just using my body weight, but pushing in as hard as I could. I even came up at one stage onto one foot.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the level, and there's no way we could get that pressure with our hands. All right, so we'll try the other foot there. It does. Hold on, I'm just getting confused here as to this is another way we can do it, just to have a certain amount there. We'll see if that's enough padding. Should be with the grass, I think. How's that feel on the front of your foot?
Good.
So I'm just getting in with my big toe, which you can feel. And then we can change. And a lot of this is all about angles. Like, say for example, I wanted to go in harder, which I'm not really going to do too much of, but I would just change my angle to push in there like that. And then I can move it slightly as well. And then I can just ease in. I can hold it or just gently rock it as I've. And it's just such a great way to get the blood flow to the feet, and just, it's not specific, obviously, like with chopsticks on the toes, but it's really good for the foot area. In fact, we don't really do much work on the toes with this procedure. But you could do this both before or after you've done the toes. But before, you would have to make sure you don't push too much where there's tension that's anchored in the toes. But you would get a lot of blood flow to the feet before you work on them, which will be nice. And after, it's just a great way for tight feet, if you've done the toes, to loosen up this part of the foot. And again, the great thing is, obviously, for the practitioner, it's not tiring your hands out. It will tire your feet out, but it gives you a variety, you know, and much better use of gravity. So it's a lot more. It's still, obviously I'm sort of tightening my toes just to get the right spot, but it's mostly me just shifting my center of gravity to use my body weight. So there's a whole system of shiatsu, like I said, called A shiatsu, which is all done with the feet. All right, so, oops, I'm getting grass all over. I'll just demonstrate that one technique I showed you before as well, of cracking the back. So if you're a small person on a big person, you would put your foot here, and then your other foot would come up here like that. But on a bigger person, we would just get her to breathe in, and as she breathes out, there we go. Got another one there.
Yeah.
And you could move up and down between here and here to do that. And that's always with the arch of the foot over the spine. And a small person could use their big toes like that on a big person with some bars on the roof. So you can also work people's hips from here, so you could get into all these different spots.
It's quite tender in there.
Yeah, we won't go too hard. You could use your heels. You can also get into the thighs. So you can work like this, or you could have the leg up and do this move, but with your foot.
It's actually, it's amazing how nice it feels getting massage.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. And it's just that extra, you know, like I say, it's using your body weight, and it's a different feel. And then I'll get you to roll over, and we'll do some work on your hands.
Okay.
So we'll just always make sure with the hands that all rings are off. Yeah.
That way?
Yeah, no, that way, yeah. The most important thing with the hands is you can see right here how she's curled up her hands. So we're going to be putting a towel over there for hygiene, so that I'm not, and you never want to go straight in if the hands are curled up, because you'll break the fingers.
Okay.
All right, so what I always do is curl them back from the wrist towards the fingers. Make sure, sorry, I'll do that with a towel over here. Obviously, they just cut the grass here. So again, most of the padding's underneath, and if you're on a hard floor, you really want to make sure that the knuckles are not pushing into the hard floor. So again, what I would do is start here and just curl back to make sure that her fingers are not going to be pushed. And then again, I can use my toes. And the most important area that we're focusing on is here. I generally don't work too much on the fingers, but I can get in with my toes and work into these parts of the hand. And if you get people like plumbers or carpenters, they often have very tight hands. They also have very thick skin, as distinct from a massage therapist who might have very tight hands for massaging, but because they're using oil sometimes, they might have softer skin. But yeah, carpenters tend to have really thick skin, plumbers, a lot of tradespeople, and it's very hard to get your hands, or even with tools, into their hands, and this would be a great technique for them. And the same sort of thing we could use then, our heel to get into here.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And we can sort of get our nice spot and then move it. Good one for this tight thumb area. But again, we'll only reach a certain point if we haven't done the detail. And you can come into this part of the hand too, just working in here. You could just gently put pressure on the fingers. And we'll do your other hand. You can do it the other way around too, just a bit gentler. Because you got the bones closer to the surface.
Amazing, like when you go down with the pad of your toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it just changes the intensity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. doing this on people.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to help people.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of the most rewarding feelings in life is to help another person.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought that's what's missing from hospitals is massage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then big pharmaceutical companies aren't going to make money out of it.
No.
Doctors aren't making money out of it, so that's the most important thing in a hospital, not people's health.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. Well,
Of course it's people's health. That's why they provide very nutritious meals in hospitals.
isn't that BS? Do you know, in the
Fucking
southern
shit food for
DHB?
people in
Oh, I
hospitals.
know. They overspent, right?
Yeah.
And so they did a budget cut with nutrition. And honestly, the meals look like dog food.
Yeah, like absolute shit.
Yeah.
And anybody with half a brain realizes that nutrition is the basis of health.
Yes.
So therefore, it's criminally irresponsible what they're doing when they're spending
Oh,
taxpayers' monies on
absolutely.
hospitals or others. It's just
yes.
keep people sick in a hospital, and then pharmaceutical companies make more money.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have nutrition. That's why we don't have massage.
Yeah, and
It's not
they
just
have
like,
a
oh, why do
dietitian
they
there.
not do that? Did they just overlook it by chance?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, actually, someone made a joke
Exploited
saying
it.
that people aren't getting flowers anymore; they're getting food.
Right.
Yeah.
People are bringing food in a
Yeah.
hospital, yeah, because otherwise, especially if you're in a hospital and you're a bit sick and you're eating shit food, you're far more likely to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people die in hospitals because
Oh,
of all
I
the
don't know.
germs. Really, what you want is you want the best food. You want smoothies.
That's
You want
nice.
like
Yeah.
juices and vitamin C and fruits and vegetables and everything to enhance your immune system when
Yeah.
you're in one of the most,
Vulnerable states.
vulnerable states
Yeah.
in one of the conditions where there's incredible amount of germs and viruses and bacteria.
Yeah.
So how many people die of bacteria and viruses that are transmitted in a hospital?
Yeah.
So the best thing they could do is put good nutrition in there. But as I say, it shows you the corruption.
Oh, and Brandon, do
In
you
our
know that they
government.
say that the dietitian assessed to make sure they've got all the nutrients?
Yeah, yeah, it's
How much do
bullshit.
they?
Yeah,
it's-
that's right.
Yeah, it's like the fishing
Dietitians are
industry.
bought out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
They're
we're going
just-
to pay you so you can up the quota.
Right, yeah, right. Because everybody knows that a good whole food diet with lots of fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, grains, beans, nuts, seeds, that's what's going to heal people.
Yeah.
Shows you that their motivation is not to heal people. Keep them sick, keep the money coming in. Especially elderly people, because they might have quite a bit of money if they can drain all that money out of them before
Yes.
they die.
Yes.
Or if it's socialized medicine, just take that of all the taxpayers. It's like another form of tax.
Yeah. Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just using my toes, using the side of my foot.
Yeah. Do you know, I think a lot of people just come because it's different. Like, people get bored with the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think they're just...
Yeah,
such a
well that's
different
why it's good to
experience.
call it Raynor Naturopathic Massage, because it is different.
Yeah.
And then people go, well that's what it is.
Yeah.
You have a term for it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to practice that?
Yeah.